Look, I bought some meat, okay? Yeah. 3.2 kilos of meat. And then we've got carrots. We've got celery. We got onion, well, 3 onions. For those of you, by the way, who haven't seen these videos before, basically we're doing cooking for gamers. So this show is intended to be for all of you guys that might not eat super healthy and you might need someone to cook tasty, healthy, and simple meals. The idea is that they're gonna go really fast. In this case though, we're making a little twist to this. This dish will probably take me like 2 hours or something to make, but the idea is that we make so much food that you can put it both in the fridge and also in the freezer to use as backup food for whenever you can't be arsed to cook. This is what I have as backup food on days where I'm like, I haven't had time to go to the grocery store or I just really cannot be arsed to spend time cooking. So even if I made this like a month ago, I still have a couple of batches in the freezer to reheat and everything. So this time I'm actually adding celery because I was recommended by a master chef from Italy. She recommended celery instead of celeriac. Well, that was like what she uses. I'm gonna be using celeriac still because this is a very cheap vegetable, very good for filling. I mean, honestly, you can fiddle a lot with the ingredients and change things if you want. But yes, gonna be a lot of sauce. I don't even know if it's gonna fit. I honestly don't think so. So I don't even know why I brought this out. Let's bring out the big pot then. This is the big pot. We'll see which one we need. I also tried once having mushrooms in it. It was very tasty. Anyway, okay. Let me take this big fat thing over here. Okay, I'm gonna show you my second tool that I really, really like in the kitchen. We call it matberedare in Swedish. Det går lika bra med celery. Food processor. Okay, thank you. There we go. It saves so much time, and we're all about saving time, right? Did I actually say that in the recipe, by the way, that we're using crushed tomatoes as well? Preferably from Mutti. Makes a big difference in the taste, in the flavor. So let's start with cutting all of these little things into pieces so we then later can fry them. We're gonna take the minced meat as well. We need some space here. So take the minced meat over here on a little journey, and then we'll put the celeriac here. Gonna move this one closer to the power outlet, and boom. We're gonna move these as well over here. Boom. Let's start with the onion. Boom. Okay, so the reason why I'm trying to save time on this recipe is when I do cook it, I'm gonna save as much time from that as well. I might spend 1.5 or 2 hours cooking it now, but it's gonna be worth it in the end. All right, chat, you're gonna have to close your ears now. Maybe I should mute this for you. Nah, you're gonna have to live through it, okay? Sorry for your ears though. All right, so now we chopped all of the onion. That's how fast it went. And then we're done with the knife, so we're gonna just toss that in there. We still need this though. All right, so we're gonna put the onion here. We're gonna start frying the onion for starters in just a few minutes. When we start making the other vegetables, we're gonna let the onion fry first, and then we're gonna start adding the other vegetables as we go. And now we're gonna do this one. Boom. Here we go. Boom. Okay, let me move these over here as well. Boom. We're gonna start with the celeriac, I think. Let's start by splitting it in two though. This one's always so difficult to cut through. All right, so we're gonna start carving off the sides. This side is always a bit more tricky because it's got all the roots and everything with it. I usually chop up a little bit extra if it's very messy. Oh, is Lacka here? Yeah, she is. Hi, Lacka. She thinks there's vegetables for her, but I was gonna say, do we have some zucchini for them? Okay, chat, let's get them some zucchini. Let's get them 2 slices. They love zucchini, my dogs. Have this. Sit. Varsågoda. We got 2 more pieces. Triss left. She wants to eat over there in peace. Why are you just fiddling with it? You know what? Here you go. I'm using 3.2 kilos of meat now. There we go. Triss got her piece. Celery tastes a little bit of licorice in my opinion. Celeriac is a much milder flavor. I think I've seen a lot of people be very like anti-celeriac, but it's a very easy to use, just super nice. It's like a parsnip, but without the sugar. I don't know, it's just very mild and it's very cheap. So you can put it as a lot of filling in the food, you know, for a very low price. For the low price of how many garlics? Oh, I don't know. I'd probably use like 6 garlic cloves or something. Oh yeah, I forgot that we're gonna be using garlic as well. I might be adding ingredients as we go here because I just basically, I don't really follow a recipe. I just go with the vibe. I'm gonna be using 3.2 kilos and this is probably gonna be enough for like, I don't know, like 30 portions or something, honestly. 20 portions at least. But I think more actually, more like 30. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna start frying the vegetables that we have while we make carrots. Okay, so we got the celeriac and we've got the onions below here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over here. We're gonna start the stove and we're gonna add a crap ton of olive oil or this is all gonna burn. I even had to take this little pipe thingy off. And we're gonna continuously keep adding salt and pepper because it's gonna get messy otherwise to add everything at the end. So here we go. We got the onion and the celeriac in here. I am making a big meal prep for like a Bolognese. Basically a meat sauce, minced meat sauce that we're gonna be serving with pasta. Oh look, I get some carrot as well. She loves carrot and zucchini. You really don't need to peel carrots if they're looking nice. Do 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 do. All right, then we're gonna get the celeriac as well, or the celery, sorry. But first, let's put these in the frying pan. Now we're gonna increase the stove fan to max. Sorry, chat. So basically, you just add the carrots, you stir a bit, make sure that you have enough olive oil in there still, so it doesn't burn. Also, I gotta get the big tool. We can't use this fiddly small tool. Boo, we need this one. I mean, I made some changes to this recipe. It's not like a normal, authentic Bolognese, so don't expect that. This is a big batch of a super nice minced beef or meat sauce, basically, kind of thing. I basically cook in steps with this. First, I start with making the Bolognese. Then in a couple of days, I'm gonna take some of that meat sauce and I'm gonna turn it into lasagna. And then I'm gonna put some of it in the freezer. I'm gonna put some of the lasagna in the freezer as well. And then I have a bunch of different food, variation, tasty food, simple to reheat, still tasty to reheat, you know, love it. Now for the celeriac. This one's a little bit dirty. I'm thinking we could clean this a little bit. Never really used celeriac, so I don't actually know how to use this. Let's keep the leaves. If it's there, it's probably edible, right? All right, we're gonna take all of this. I just cut it into small pieces, some carrot as well. And we're gonna start frying it together with the rest of the veggies. Now we're gonna prepare a bunch of this garlic. We're just gonna freaking prepare this entire thing. I use garlic in this. Not really part of an authentic recipe, but really nice to have. And garlic's good for you, so. All right, there we go. Now we're gonna move you guys over here, okay? So as you can see, the stove doesn't really work when you have these tall pots like this. The air just goes straight up. So here we go with the 3 kilos of minced meat, okay? We're gonna have to do it in batches so we get everything properly fried in here. Just get some of the minced meat in here. Work on getting it all properly cooked. And then you obviously mix a bit. All right, this is what it looks like right now. So now we've gotten 1.6 kilos of meat down here and it's getting properly cooked. So let's do the other one. Oh yeah, by the way, I was adding cooking cream. I'm actually gonna add some more cooking cream. But first, we're gonna add some crushed tomatoes. If you wanna use crushed tomatoes, these are so much better, okay? Like the quality of these, mwah. Amazing, okay? You know what I sometimes do with these? I clean them out and then I plant little mini basil in these or something. We're gonna make it proper meat saucy. I think we're also gonna use a little bit of soy because I want the color to be a little bit darker. I usually always like YOLO swag the amounts of everything, but I'm gonna try and put together a recipe in the end. I'm making a minced meat sauce in a big freaking batch, okay? Wow. Let's use that one. Actually, it managed fine. So this is freezable. The spaghetti, not so much. So you need to cook a little bit, but you just need to boil the pasta and reheat this and you're good to go. What we're gonna do next week is we're gonna take half of this recipe and turn that into a lasagna. I'm gonna divide basically, because this is a lot of the same stuff. It gets repetitive. If you eat this much food in one go, day after day after day after day, you get super tired of it. So that's why I try to vary it a little bit. We're actually gonna add a little bit more of the cooking cream, boom. We're gonna add a little bit of soy to get some nicer brown color to this. Also get some salt, like saltiness. Honestly, the soy is really like voluntary though. You don't need to do that. All right, chat, let's bring some garlic and press it. Press this. Okay, now we're gonna taste a little bit. See what it tastes like. Ooh, this is really good. We need some more salt and we need some more pepper. I think it's time to make some pasta now. Chat, this is actually looking really nice. One of my best of this version that I've made. Damn. Oh, sorry, okay. Okay, very nice. Very, very nice. Should we make some pasta? All right, now we're gonna lower it so it's gonna simmer a little bit and then we just leave it here while we cook the pasta. How much spaghetti? I never portion spaghetti in the right amount. Should be fine. Okay, here we go. All right, put the timer on. And it's important to stir the pasta, guys. Don't forget to stir the pasta. You don't want it to stick to each other. And then we gotta finish with the most important thing ever. Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna put it on top after, but I'm gonna grate it now since I'm standing here not doing anything anyway. Gotta have a lot of Parmesan cheese. Boom. All right, pasta's done. We're gonna add lots of bolognese. I don't know how much though. A bit more. Definitely needs more. Okay, this is what it looks like now. Bolognese is basically done, or the pasta thingamabob. The minced meat pasta schmack. Okay. I don't think this is gonna go. You get to move on the other side there. Egg spaghetti. I think you make like pasta in general of egg and flour. Durum wheat flour. Okay, this is a very big portion. This gets to be Olaf's portion. Okay, a little bit too much. Boom. Here's another portion then. Very nice. There we go. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna get some Parmesan cheese. You know what else I add? You know how I really like vegetables? And how, do you guys know which vegetable that I'm really big fan of? Can you guys guess what I'm gonna add? Can you guys guess what I'm gonna add to this portion? Arugula, exactly. You are absolutely correct. Okay, this is very tasty actually. You know, if you eat it like this, like you don't even notice the arugula because you like mix it with the food and just, yeah. Maybe I should have taken a picture before there was a mountain of arugula here. Like you don't even notice the arugula. All right, now we're gonna go and serve this plate to Mr. Olaf. I'll be right back. Gonna go serve this to my man. Here we go. We're bringing chat over here. Let's tell it to go bright. Boom. All right, chat. So here is the food that we had for the meal prep. Obviously, it's always going to be a bit better when it's fresh, but this is actually going to do really well being, you know, frozen and reheated. It actually works fine. This is like 2 meals. Why do I always do this? All right, let's give it a try. Gotta spin it on the spoon, obviously. Wow. Someone made another goal. What do you mean they don't spin spaghetti on spoon in Italy? This is, I literally learned to do it. No, you don't use arugula, but I learned spinning my pasta on a spoon in Italy. That's what they taught me. Chat, honestly, this recipe was a 9 out of 10. I freaking love this. It is so goddamn yummy. And the fact that it's like, you spend like 1.5 hours or something in the kitchen to make the dish, and then you're set for like so many meals in the future, and you know, your future self is gonna thank you. So that's one way to save a lot of time with cooking. It doesn't actually have to be cooking every single meal today. This saves you a lot of time. If you did like the video, please leave a comment and let me know what other dishes you would like to see in the future. Maybe you also have a lot of opinions on what's proper and authentic, and you know, are you okay with mixing and changing authentic recipes up to kind of fit you? And what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you like the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm also going to leave you guys with a recommended video up here, so you guys can check that out. We got more cooking videos just like these, and also you can subscribe right here. I will see you in there in a second, okay? Mwah! Toodles!